Welcome to Rhyme and Reason, the podcast where music meets meaning. I'm your host, Priss. Join me as we dive into the stories behind the songs, exploring the rhymes that make us move and the reasons that make us think. Across all genres, we'll dissect the lyrics, analyze the beats, and uncover the hidden gems that make music magic. Let's get into the rhythm. New episode every week. Rhyme and Reason, where every note has a story. Hey lovely, it's your girl Priss, and I am back to spend a little more time with you because I just can't keep away from you, can I? So thank you for joining me today. I'm, as always, and I think I say this every single time, and you're going to hear it a few more times, so bear with me, but I'm excited. I'm excited for today's episode because I have someone who is very special to me. I'll introduce her in just a little bit. Just to go over a little bit of feedback that I've been getting, I will highlight some of the bits that really touched my heart. There's one of the listeners, her name's Natasha, and she reached out and she told me that she loves how different, how each episode takes on a different tone. And I love that because every single song that we talk about hits differently, right? And it touches on different aspects in our lives. So I appreciate that feedback. I also got some feedback about things that I can do. I know some people asked me to incorporate some of the songs and play them on the show. I would love that, lovely. I really would. But because of copyright laws and things like that and the red tape around doing that, I think it's best we just talk about them. And then if you go to the different platforms that Rhyme and Reason with Priss is on, I will post videos or links to the YouTube videos for each of the songs that we talk about. I'm also working on compiling a little playlist that you can listen to that I'll be updating every week with whatever song we talked about. So if you're ever looking for a discussion on one of your favorite songs, if you see it on the playlist, you know where to go to get it. So the podcast will be on YouTube. It's now on Buzzsprout. So this really links it to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you name it. Anywhere you like to listen to your podcasts, you will find it. So it's Rhyme and Reason with Priss. And thanks again for joining me. So now, today's song is a really good one. My girl picked this, and so that's a clue for you. My guest today is one of my girls. Well, I'll say more, but it's Rise Up. This is Rise Up by Andra. Very popular. It's like one of the most popular songs in over the last decade or so. And it was a chart topper. It was written by Andra and Jennifer. I don't know how to say her last name, but I'm going to try. DeSalvio? Yeah. So one of those songs that went quadruple platinum in the US, nominated for Grammys and Soul Train Music, won a Soul Train Music Award, nominated for Emmys for her live performance on The View. So this is a heart-stirring song, and we're going to talk about that today. So now on to my guest. I have with me the amazing Michelle Chakabuda, and she is adoringly known as Sportsbae. So Sportsbae is a TV and radio personality, a beloved sportscaster, She worked at ZBC for 6 years. Now, she loves music, and we all know that that is the biggest qualifier to be a guest on the show. So she loves her music, and she is very dear to me. So I'm going to slip into some Shauna for just a second. We want to watch Yera. This is my daughter. you know. And you know what? I have another special little guest because you won't believe this. I am looking at one of the most beautiful little girls in the world, our baby. So she brought her daughter. So right now she is sitting and taking a little nap, and we're just holding her. And yeah, so we have the youngest guest ever on this show. So, Michelle, welcome to the show, sweetie.
Thank you so much for having me. Such an honor. This has been long overdue, eh?
Long overdue. Yeah. Long overdue. We've been trying to get together for
the longest.
For the longest. And so we finally made it happen today. Mm-hmm. It's been a while since we had seen each other, so this is really good. And thank you so much for taking the time to come and grace my show.
Thank you for the invite.
You're welcome. So we picked Rise Up. Mm-hmm. You picked Rise Up.
I did.
And it's a very powerful anthem. It's I was listening to it when I was getting ready for today, and I had to hold back tears because
it's such an emotional song.
I love it. So tell me a little bit about why you picked this song, and then we'll get into it.
Yeah, so a bit of background is that last year I was pregnant. Mm-hmm. And it was quite a complicated pregnancy. I was in and out of hospital. So my struggles with motherhood and started when I was pregnant because I was sick, constantly sick, in and out of hospital. I had to leave work early. You know how mothers wait when you're 6 months, right?
Right.
Is it 6 months or
even more?
Third trimester,
like third trimester. Like I know it depends on where you are. Some take off even like 2 weeks before the baby comes.
Yes.
Yeah, but you couldn't do that, eh?
I couldn't. I had to leave work when I just started my second trimester because I was just sick, and I would get into the hospital, and so it got to a point where I was just racing with the clock because I needed to give birth. Because I thought, if I give birth, then all of this will be done and I get to rest because it was painful. It was quite painful. So it was long. You know how you always say pregnancy is the longest? Yes. I got to live it. It was so long. And there was nothing exciting about it for me because I was ugly, my face was swollen, I had struggles with my blood pressure.
You were beautiful.
No, I wasn't.
She doesn't
No, I wasn't. It was bad. Yeah.
You used to make fun of yourself a lot. That's why. And I'd be like,
used to make fun of me a lot.
I never made fun of you, but you would make fun of yourself, and I'd be like, oh, sweetie, we all... And then I would try to even tell you, hey, this is how we all looked. You know.
Yeah, so coupled with
it was a big change for you.
It was a big change for me because for quite a long time I was this girl, pretty.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm pretty, I'm just
saying.
You
are pretty. What are you talking about? Go on.
I was living in that moment, and for me it was a big shift. Having to look myself in the mirror, seeing how bad I looked, and couple that with the fact that I wasn't well.
Yeah. That's a lot to take.
And I had swollen feet and swollen. So for me, the pregnancy was long, and I felt like I didn't have hope. I felt like I was just in a space where I needed to get out of. I needed to just give birth and have it, done with. And then I gave birth.
And you thought that was going to be the end?
Yeah. For me, I thought it was the beginning of something great, no more worries, no more what, because I was so worried when I was pregnant. Am I going to give birth well? Will I give birth to to a healthy baby because of all the complications that I had. Yeah, the worry is, will my baby make it? Will I make it? Because I had a sister that passed away during child labor. So for me, that trauma lived with me.
That's a lot to take on.
Because for quite...
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, for quite a time, I didn't believe that people could die giving birth. So when my sister did, it was such a shock. Because I came back from school and I heard Kuti, she had been taken to the hospital, and I thought, I finally get to meet my niece, That I didn't know that I wouldn't see her again. So when I got told, when I received the news, it was a shock for me. Because I had never thought about it. Could a person, because it had never happened to me.
Right.
Yeah. And so when it happened to my sister, and then I started experiencing all the things that I saw my sister struggle with. The blood pressure, the hypertension, the swollen feet. I thought for sure I'm going the same route, that my sister went. So eventually when I gave birth, it was a sigh. It was, whoa, I made it.
It was a happy day for me.
It was a happy day. Because I made it. I remember when I was in labor for 14 hours.
It was long.
It was long. And then I got told, Kuti, the baby isn't progressing, the centimeters. So you have to go for an emergency C-section. The same with my sister. And I thought, when the doctor told me, Kuti, you want to be awake. Do you want to be awake, or you want to... I said, please, I need to be awake. Because
you were afraid to
to sleep, and for my sister, she didn't wake up. So for me it was but eventually, I had the C-section. I met my baby, and
she knows you're talking about her, so she wants to chime in. You want to chime in too, baby?
She wants to join in the conversation, So eventually when I had the baby, I was excited at first, and I was so happy, and I was in love.
Yes.
But then the struggles came. It was a traumatic experience. Everything just changed. It wasn't as I had read, you hear motherhood is such a joy. Motherhood is so amazing. For me, it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
I had this new human that needed me, but I just needed my mom. I just needed my mom as well. I was going through a lot. And so this song became my only source of hope. This song, and I think Take Sure Zama's Rapai Moyo Wangu, that song. I would play those two songs every single day, and I would be crying because I was so stressed. I didn't know what was stressing me. I knew I wasn't fine.
You just knew you weren't well.
I wasn't well, and I would cry. And it got to a point where I didn't sleep. I couldn't sleep because my heart was beating so fast. So each time I lay down, I was afraid that I wouldn't wake up. So the song became my anthem because, how she says, all we need is hope.
Yes.
Yeah. And I felt I needed hope. I felt like I've lost all hope because here I am alive. I have my baby, but I'm not well. And I can't explain it. I can't pin why exactly I'm not well, what's wrong with me, why am I feeling this way? The guilt that comes with it. I have a baby and I'm supposed to be caring for my baby, but I don't feel good.
There's something about that feeling of, you're not 100% okay.
Yes.
You're nowhere near 100%. And you've got this life that's 100% dependent on
you. Yeah.
And that just stacks up along with however you feel about yourself at that point. So my heart goes out to you, and that must have been really awful.
It was awful. I remember.
Did you feel alone?
I felt so alone. And it didn't help that people would come and they would just focus on the baby and to see the baby. And I just kind of take a step back and I was just looking at people reveling, oh, she's so cute. They'll be focusing on her and no one really paid attention to me. And I was struggling. I was struggling a lot. And it didn't help, all those things that come with being a newborn's mom.
Yes.
They didn't tell me putting milk leaks like that.
Oh, yeah, we should have told you that.
You didn't.
I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry.
And imagine, I'm leaking, I'm wet. I was constantly wet because my mom would always say, you got Musana Wangu, I produced a lot of milk, so you're going to be producing a lot of milk as well. And that was bad because I was constantly wet, constantly changing my clothes.
Tired, sleepless.
It was a lot for me, and I was sick as well. And it was too much. But that song, I would play it a lot and I would just start crying because I had mountains. I thought I needed to move a lot of mountains. I remember speaking to a friend of mine, Anonzi Panashe Boni, and she had, last year she gave birth as well.
Okay.
So I was telling her and she told me, Kuti, I understand you because you love your baby. I know you love your baby, but you're not okay.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of mixed emotions.
You find a lot of moms, like new moms, face this. I would say it's in the region of maybe postpartum blues, postpartum depression. Yeah. So that, because your body's gone through a lot. Your mind is going through a lot.
It is.
And then for you having experienced trauma, like with your sister, and now this is sort of playing out, and you're hopeful, you're happy that the baby's coming, but there's this daunting feeling that something could go wrong,
and you're dealing with all those other symptoms. I had cracked nipples, so it was hard for me to feed.
Those hurt.
I had it was quite painful. So it got to a point where when she cries for milk, I would just go, oh my God.
Here we go
again. And I knew my baby needed the feed. So this song became the only source of hope that I had. And it was quite good that I had a very good emotional support system. I had my sister there. My sister literally moved at my mom's place just so that she takes care of the baby. So my sister was taking care of the baby. Wow. Sometimes at night, she'd say, no, so you sleep. I'll take care of her. She would go prepare formula and give the baby. And then my mom had to take care of me. So I would sleep with my mom and my sister I would sleep with her baby. So it got to a point where I didn't even know if she fed or not.
Wow.
I would wake up and then I would go to her and say, you haven't brought her. Doesn't she need milk? And she'll be like, no, she's fine. I gave her milk. You go sleep. And
how important is this support network?
Whew.
I mean, if we could all have such a support network, I think a lot of ills would be cured, really. Like, I'm talking about emotional ills,
yes.
That's kudos to your sister and your mom for being there for you.
She was God sent.
Oh my goodness.
I started thinking, it really changed me because I started thinking about, people who are pregnant, who just had a baby, a first-time mom, without that support system, without a mom, without a sister to tend to. And it really made me so sad just thinking about those moms, first-time moms, without that strong support system. Because if it wasn't for that, I don't think I would be here. I don't think I would be here because I was struggling. I would cry. I remember video calling someone and that person hung up. said, Michelle, I couldn't, because my face was swollen.
Oh.
It was even worse than when I was pregnant.
Oh.
That's how bad it was. My blood pressure was high. So eventually I remember I went to see my gynecologist, and immediately saw me. He said, this is postpartum depression. We need to get you on antidepressants fast. We need to get you on antidepressants fast. And and that really worked. That really helped.
How important is it to identify what the problem is?
It is. I appreciated having, a gynecologist.
Right.
Yeah, I appreciated having that help, that provision that allows me to get help, that allows me to see specialists, because I started wondering, what if I couldn't afford this?
Imagine.
If this problem hadn't been identified and I wasn't on antidepressants. Yeah, because really what worked for me, what healed me was those antidepressants.
Yeah.
Because immediately I took them, I felt like a completely different person.
Oh, wow.
And I started appreciating, I was one of those people who really didn't think much about mental health issues.
Yes.
You hear I'm depressed and you just think, this person needs to talk to someone,
cheer up,
to be strong. You need to be strong. You need to toughen up.
There's so many cliches I could give you right now. Yeah. I hear you.
So for me, it really changed who I was as a person. Right. I think it changed me for better. I became a better person because of it.
Oh, wow.
I fully understood what depression was, because you hear someone committed suicide and you think, why? Because their life seems perfect. Because in all intents purposes, my life seemed perfect. I just gotten married. I have an amazing husband.
Oh, yes.
I've just given birth. I have a baby. Those are things that other people wish for, dream of having. But I wasn't happy. I was depressed. And so I got to appreciate more issues to do with mental health. Yeah. And I got to appreciate more identifying problems, getting help. Because for me, it really helped.
There's no shame in that.
There's no shame in it.
I really appreciate how you're talking about this. And thank you for being so vulnerable to talk about this, because we know we still, society still has a long way to go.
Yes.
I'm thinking maybe especially in this part of the world, we still have a long way to go in normalizing conversations around
mental health. Yeah.
So for someone who is listening, who probably identifies with some of the things, some of the symptoms you've described, there's hope.
There is.
Right now we're talking about it in past tense because you got the help you needed.
I did.
You got the help. You can't just wish some of these problems away.
You can't.
Or just think, oh, let me just hang in there. It's just going to go away.
No.
I did an episode. I think you listened to it. I did an episode a couple of episodes ago. I was talking about my struggle with mental health.
I remember that.
And when I listened back to it, I still find that I stutter around certain things. Like, I did talk about it and I spoke from the heart, but I feel like we've been conditioned to feel shame around, mental struggles. But then, and then when I encourage people, you know what? Sometimes you don't have to wait for something to be wrong for you to get some attention. Even if you anticipate, like a life change, like in your case.
Yes.
That was a huge change. Getting married, get some counsel. If it's counsel from church or from, just get some sort of support going to prepare you for it. It's so much better than dealing with it afterwards.
Because even as much as it's a happy thing, it's a happy occasion, you're married, you're living your dream, but it comes with a lot of baggage. It comes with a lot of things that if you're not strong enough, if you didn't get the counseling, that's why it's important. That's why they advocate for it. Get counseling before you get married. They understand how important it is not to just go in blindly.
Yeah.
So for me it was
so brave of you. Like it's so brave of you to I'm so proud of you, sweetie. Like honest, I'm sorry I'm calling her sweetie, but she's my daughter, like I said earlier. Allow me, I'm not being disrespectful. But it's but I'm really, really proud and inspired. And I really hope that someone who's listening can be like, so if Sportsbae
went through this,
can go through something like this, and she identified that she needed help, and she got help, and she's in a better space for having gotten that help. Maybe I can seek help too.
Yes, and it's very important to get help. It's very important. I remember hearing stories. People would come visit me, my aunts, and they would say, we hear about this lady, akapetsera penga. Just God is shona.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Because but they didn't quite understand what it was.
Yeah.
To them, angakupenga, probably mashavi, probably it's evil spirits.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Can she be any cuter? Yeah. Yeah, I had to take her because I just couldn't stand how cute she was in her mama's arms. So
that's why she's lively now. Yeah. Because her glammy is
holding her. Yeah.
Yeah. So you see, a lot of people don't really know much about postpartum depression, about mental health issues. Yeah, because I was lucky. My mom didn't quite know much about it, but you could tell she was concerned. She knew there was something wrong with her daughter. She prayed, yes, but she identified that this problem might need something else, something more than just prayers.
Yes.
Yeah, and eventually I got that help.
This thing that I post once in a while. I post and I say it says it's a T-shirt that says it's okay to need it's okay to have Jesus and my therapist too.
Exactly.
We need to normalize some of that.
Yes.
Because both prayer and help from that I got in therapy helped to get me out of the hole I was in. So yeah, so I really appreciate. Oh my goodness, I could do this all day.
She really wants to be part of the conversation.
I'm sure. Are there any baby whisperers there that know
what is
she saying? And I'm not editing this at all because this is just too precious. So with hey baby, with rise up, one of the things that I found that spoke to me was on the chorus where she says, "I'll rise like the day."
Yes.
Imagine if the sun could take a day off. You know how automatic it is for the day to begin and to end. It has to happen, whether you're feeling okay, whether you're
whether you don't want it to come, whether you don't want to wake up, the sun rises.
And especially when you have this little one, like you're literally supposed to work. Everything has to work like clockwork. And so you have to have that hope and inspiration to be able to do that and effectively, So I found that very powerful. And there's a lot of repetition with the I'll rise up. And something that really touched me was the willpower. You have to have that extra dose of willpower. You're willing yourself. Sometimes you have to will yourself until it becomes the norm for you.
Because she does say, in spite of the ache.
Yes.
You are
She doesn't dismiss it.
You are in pain. But you have to.
You acknowledge it though. You don't have to dismiss it. You don't have to deny it or deny its existence. But with it, you learn to get up and go.
To move the mountains.
Right.
And rise.
And rise.
And that's exactly what I did.
Oh my goodness. I'll give you a hug later when I'm not holding the baby. But I feel so empowered.
Mm-hmm.
And this should be empowering for a lot of people who are going through stuff and they feel alone in their struggle. You're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And every time we do an episode that touches on mental health issues,
mm-hmm.
I will definitely put resources in my captions, just so that you can reach out for help if you identify with any of the things that we talked about. Because I'm not a professional. But,
and this isn't something that just happens. I just needed to just throw this in there. This isn't something that happens to just first-time moms as well. No. Even a mother who has had 3 children before and it has been fine. Postpartum depression just happens.
It does.
Yeah. So I think it's important to get help. If you feel like you are stressed and you have no reason to be stressed, and you feel like things aren't going the way that they should, I feel like it's important to get help. Just get help. Go find a counselor. Go find someone to talk to. If you're lacking that emotional support system, like I said earlier, find someone to talk to.
Yeah.
I know that in as much as you might not have a mom, in as much as you might not have that immediate support system, there's one person that you can talk to, a church, maybe you've got a church. It's really important to find help.
Find your village. Find your village.
Because, in the song when she says, we need hope, and for that we have each other.
Yes.
That was powerful.
Oh.
We have each other. There's nowhere else you're going to get hope from.
You know what else I realized about when the song opens and she's talking, like it's like the speaker is talking to someone who is in a low place, and they're taking on that.
Burden.
It starts being you are feeling a certain way, but I am going to walk this with you, and
I'm going to be
I will, despite what I'm going through, I'm going to take this on and we'll do it together.
And we will rise together.
We'll rise up. It ends with we'll rise up. So, and the part where it says, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. That means just because we got over this one, just because we walked through this one together, doesn't mean there's not another one coming.
It doesn't mean it stops.
You don't stop, And that sense of community that you so accurately brought up, because they say, okay, and I'll do it 1,000 times again for you. For you. For you. For you. For you. For you. We are for each other. Yes. We are for each other.
We need each other.
We do. No man is an island.
Yes.
So, this is amazing. Thank you for bringing this song and telling your story.
It's an emotional song.
Yes.
And I feel like it's a song that speaks to a lot of people.
It does.
Yeah, because really we go through a lot of these things and a lot of people are silent. Yeah, but the sense of community, the sense of support is what everyone needs.
You're not alone.
You're not alone. To just be reminded that you don't have to walk this alone. You don't have to walk through this alone. Yeah, having people around you, support you, be with you, encourage you. Having someone just tell you that they're proud of you, like you just did. It's a lot. Because motherhood can be lonely.
It can.
It can be lonely. Having someone just say you're doing a good job.
It's something that's important to have.
It's important.
And they're not just words. I really am proud of you.
Thank you.
You certainly defied some odds and you advocated for yourself. Getting that help, that's advocating for yourself because you love your baby. Getting help is an act of love, not just for yourself, but for the people that count on you. Like Mkwasha, like your husband. You're getting that help for not just only your benefit, but the people around you.
Because I could tell you were stressed.
I bet.
Having to see the mother of your child struggling, having also to be with your child.
But he rose up with you.
He did.
He definitely was.
Every step of the way he was there, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for him. I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm so grateful for each and every person that helped me.
You're welcome, sweetie, and we'll be here. We are here. And baby Chichi is just...
Baby Chichi.
Baby Chichi is...
I'm grateful for you,
We're grateful for you, baby girl. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think I need to switch to video soon because some of this cuteness cannot just be heard. Listen, she is just, she's the best thing since sliced bread, like they say.
Thank you.
So
thank you, Glammy.
Glammy is showing off. But as we wind down, so that was Rise Up with Andra Day. That's our take with our own personal stories attached to it, which is what we do on this show. If you would like us to unpack one of your favorite songs or a song that means something to you, please let me know. Just reach out and let me know. And this is probably the newest song I've done, because people always make fun of me of how all my picks are really old.
I must add, you did tell me, you said, baby, make sure it's an old song. And I'm like, how old does this woman think I am? She gave birth to me. She wants me to do an old song. Kanti, how old does she think I am?
Okay, so this is old for you.
This is old for me.
Some of the stuff that these kids consider old school, guys. Like, how some people will come to me with a Beyonce song and say that's old school. Guys, that's...
I almost came with a Beyonce song. It was between this and...
Okay, Destiny's Child Beyonce or Beyonce?
Destiny's Child Beyonce.
Okay, see, that's different. Destiny's Child is... That is old school. But Beyonce, I can't think of a single one that is old school.
I laughed so much. You said, baby, just make sure it's an old song, okay?
I said it's a classic.
It's a classic. And I'm like...
And then she brings a 2015 song. You know what? I did make a promise on one of these episodes that I would try to bring some new stuff. I think on my next solo episode...
You should do a new song.
I'm doing a new song. I'm going to learn one just for you, lovely. See how much you mean to me? So usually at the end, we talk about what you're working on. I already have a bit of an idea of what that is because you're just glowing in your mommyhood and everything.
I'm just glowing in my mommy era.
And you're doing it so well.
Yes, and I had to go back to school, so I'm doing
amazing.
Yes, so that and being a mom,
that's a lot.
Enough.
That's a lot.
That's a
mommy,
lot. Yeah.
wife, student.
Yeah, probably maybe July, August, September. I can think of maybe going back to work.
Okay.
Yeah, but as for now, I'm just
enjoy this for now and feel it out. But thank you so much. Anything you want people to know? Any last thoughts? Anything you want to share with someone today?
I just want to repeat this. Please get help.
Yes.
Get help.
Yes.
If you feel like you're stressed and you can't really pinpoint as to what's stressing you, don't be shy. Because people will tell you, you don't have any reason to be stressed.
Oh, yeah.
Don't listen to those people.
No.
Get help.
Get it.
Because once you get help, you feel so light. And you start blaming yourself. Why didn't I do this sooner?
You will actually cry and be like, you know what? I haven't felt this okay in a long time. Don't you want that, lovely? So, get the help that you need.
Get the help.
So from me, your girl Priss, and baby Chichi.
And
Michelle, have a great week, lovely. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, mommy.
You're welcome, baby. Take care.